Hi, just a quick video to share with you some good news that I've just had. I've just had delivered, in fact. I've been trying to buy a locomotive from eBay and I wanted one fairly cheap. So I've been putting in lots of low bids and they've not been really successful so far. But I've just got a winning bid and the items have come through. And it's, as you can see, one of the Caledonian Pug locomotives from Hornby. Now, I've been looking to get one for about £10. Brand new, they retail at, I think, £34.99. And the Centenary Edition one, I think, is £39.99. But I managed to pick these up for £20. So that works out at £10 a loco, which is exactly what I was looking for. And on first glance, they look to be in tip-top condition. Obviously not boxed or with any of the accessories, but that's not too important for what I have in mind. So let's have a look at the locomotive. As you can see, this one is in the traditional Caledonian Railway blue livery, whilst the other one is in the livery that it originally appeared in 1983, a Smoky Joe livery, which represents one of the class that was a shunter at Crewe works in the 1950s and had that those words written on the side tanks by the drivers. My plan is to take this locomotive and detail it up, repaint it and do a few other little bits and pieces to make it look like a much better locomotive, but it's actually pretty good already. Originally, these had a handrail on the boilers on each side, but I presume that Hornby have removed those because trying to reduce cost. So one of the things that I'll be looking at doing is trying to put a handrail back in place there. The handrail around the front of the smoke box is moulded on, and I'm not quite sure what I'm going to do with that one at the moment. As you can see, there's actually a slight mould line that's running along the top of the boiler there, and you can see it also on Smoky Joe. And one of the things I'm going to do before I repaint it is to just try and file that down and try and remove that one from show. I don't know if you can have a look at this clearly, but as you can see, there's actually a fair bit of moulded detail in the cab. And so one of the things I'm going to be doing is painting the cab and trying to pick out some of the levers and dials and so on in contrasting paint to try and sort of bring that to life. And also what I'll be doing is I'll be putting some glazing in the spectacle holes in the front of the cab, and also trying to make the do a bit of weathering to make the loco look really different. My plan at the moment is to paint it into a black livery for the Caledonian Railway. Most of them would have been shunting or goods engines, and so would normally have carried the black lined Caledonian Railway livery. I don't know whether I will line it all out or just some of it out or none of it out, but we'll see later as we go. These engines had a reputation as being a pocket rocket in the early days, in the 1980s when they first came out, and that was because at the time they used a scale electric car motor in them, and it had pretty much two speed settings, fast and very fast, and you couldn't get them to do any sort of slow shunting, and they were ideal for a cheap entry-level locomotive that appears in the cheaper lower end train sets, and that's still the case today. But since the move to China, Hornby have managed to swap the motor out for something else and or change the gearing, and you can actually get these to go down to a reasonably slow crawl. I mean, they're not going to be perfect locomotives, but then I've paid a tenner for these, and I'm not expecting them to be perfect locomotives. But if I can make something that looks a little bit different and can still perform some shunting on a shunting layout, then this will be a really good locomotive. And let's have a look and see how they perform on the layout. So, as you can see, the Cali Pug is maybe the slightly better of the two in terms of running. Smoky Joe is a little bit noisy and a little bit sticky, but still quite reasonable. And I'm sure that a decent service and 20 minutes on a circular test track will bed those in quite nicely. So, when I have some time in the next few weeks, I'll be detailing up one or both of these locomotives, and if you'd like to see that video when it gets published, don't forget to hit the subscribe button that's on the screen now. If you'd like to see some of my other loco reviews, the link for that is on the screen now as well. So, see you in the next video.